There are some definitions of sports psychology. According to John Lothar, sports is an area which attempts to apply psychological facts and principles to human behavior in the field of sports. According to Clark and Clark, sports psychology is an applied psychology. It is more concerned with personalities and emotional aspects of sports and physical activities. In this study, I will talk about the three important variables, namely stress, aggression, and anxiety, which affects the sports person soundly. Stress is the feeling of emotional or physical tension. It can come from any event that makes you feel angry, nervous, or frustrated. Aggression, any action intended to cause injury or harm. And anxiety is a feeling of fear, dread, and uneasiness. It might cause you to sweat, feel restless and tense, and have a rapid heartbeat. It can be a normal reaction to stress. Stress. The term stress means the imbalance between mental and emotional level of an individual. Stress is the feeling of emotional or physical tension. Stress is a stimulus resulting in a positive or negative response. There are two types of stress. First is acute stress, and the second is chronic stress. I'll talk about acute stress and its effects on the body and a certain environment. Acute stress is most basic type of stress. It is based on the current events. It can cause the psychological or physiological imbalance. As we all know that physiology is the internal functioning of human body. In a sports situation, when a sports person or a soccer player suddenly received an order from his coach or his captain to take a penalty corner. In that situation, a person who is going to attempt a penalty corner is in acute level of stress. Or in other sports situation, a sudden call for an event is can cause of acute stress. Whereas chronic stress, chronic stress is a long-term stress. In domestic world, a unhappy marriage life is cause of can cause of chronic stress. A poverty is a major cause of chronic stress. In a sports situation, a repeated abuse in any form or game can cause the chronic stress. Dysfunctional family condition can also cause of chronic stress. Repeated defeat in game can also the cause of chronic stress. We can also define the stress in other two types. The first is negative stress and the second is positive stress. Negative stress can cause anxiety. It can be a short or a long time. It can be for the short and long time. Is perceived as outside of our coping abilities. Feel unpleasant, decrease performances, and it can lead to mental and physical problems. Whereas in positive stress, or if a player takes stress in a positive way, the positive stress makes a person motivated and focused. It is a short term, is perceived with our coping abilities. An individual feels exciting and improve his or her performance, and positive stress can also increase physical efficiency of a player. Here we can see the some effects of stress on a sports performance. A first major effect on sports performance is a muscle tension. Tension is one of the most common symptoms of stress, which has a huge impact on athletes' performance. For athletes to be at the top of their game, they need to be agile with loose, limber muscles. Tight muscles negatively affect flexibility and mobility, leading to improper form. Muscles and joints work together, therefore, muscles tightness can cause joint and muscle injury. Sports requires fast explosive movements, and tight muscles are far more to strain and tears. Extremely tight muscle don't receive adequate blood flow or oxygen, which can cause points and delayed healing of injuries. रुक जाओ 10 मिनट रुक
10 मिनट नहीं है ना अभी मैं तो काम लगा हुआ उधर काम चल रहा पूरे स्टेट करानी है बस
कर लो and other effects on sports performance. Fatigue is another symptom of stress that can lead to injury. Stress in and of itself can make you sleepy, but when you are experiencing sleep disruptions as well, you are more prone to injuries. Sports require quick thinking and reaction time. Fatigue can negatively affect your response and reaction time, causing injury in some situations. Lack of sleep can also affect your immune system and allow you to more subjective to illness, thus causing you to miss practices and games. The other variable which is soundly effect on sports performance is aggression. Now I will teach you about the aggression. Aggression is the word that we use every day to characterize the behavior of other, perhaps even of ourselves. Social psychologists define aggression as behavior that is intended to harm other individual who does not wish to be harmed. Hostility is method of conduct in which one subject objective to harm someone else. Some other chemical influences can also make a person aggressive. A most prominent chemical or hormone which is produced in human body or male's body, that is testosterone. It can also produce aggression in human body. Genetic makeup or chromosomal imbalance also make a person aggressive. लगा दो. Types of aggression. There are two types of aggression: hostile aggression, instrumental aggression. In the category of hostile aggression, the goal is the injury of other human being. The intent is to make victims suffer, and the reinforcement is pain and suffering that is caused. The sort of aggression is always accompanied by anger on the part of aggressor. For individual engaged in instrumental aggression, the intent to harm other individual is present, but the goal is to realize some external goal such as money, victory, prestige. Effect of aggression on sports performance. While in many sports the use of legitimate force is within the rules of the game, The assertiveness is required in many sports where a degree of physically is required for success. Whether in ice hockey or soccer, the hustle and bustle between players will always remain a key part of the sport's nature. Strategies to reduce aggression in sports. If coaches, parents, managers, and athletes want to control aggression, it is within their power to do so. Unfortunately, not all aggression is discouraged. In some environments, coaches have been known to applaud aggressive rule breaking behavior in the belief it increases ticket sales and adds on element of fear to opposing teams who make the visit. Sadly, such behavior at a high level has tendency to filter down to lower level and to youth development. Poor behavior by a sporting icon breeds a culture of aggression. Anxiety. The next psychological variable is anxiety. Anxiety is one of many emotions that arise in response to a competitive situation. An emotion is associated with physiological changes, a subjective experience, and an action tendency. Conversely, a mood is more diffuse, long lasting, and associated with life generally. There are two types of anxiety, a state anxiety and trait anxiety. State anxiety is an immediate emotional state that is characterized by apprehension, fear, tension, and increase in the physiological arousal. Whereas trait anxiety is a predisposition to perceive certain environment situation as threatening. Other types of anxieties are cognitive anxiety and somatic anxiety. Cognitive anxiety is mental component of anxiety causes by such things as fear of negative social evaluation and loss of self-esteem. Whereas somatic anxiety is physical component of anxiety and reflects the perception as increased heart rate, respiration, and muscular pain. The anxiety makes the athlete overconscious of his situation, and the apprehensions make him feel uneasy. As a result, the body may feel sudden bursts of heart and will release a lot of perspiration when the body receives signals from the brain. Excessive sweating can occur anywhere on the body, but mainly on the hands and the feet and the face. The individual will begin to feel uncomfortable, and this merely reinforces the anxiety they are already feeling. Recompetitive anxiety also develops as an inability to concentrate before an upcoming event or competition. The athlete is unable to concentrate on the task at hand and therefore cannot give their performance full attention. The root cause of The inability to concentrate is feeling of apprehension. Apprehensions cause the individual to feel they will fail or decrease their confidence in their ability. The summary, last but not the least, in a normal competition, stress, aggression, and anxiety are necessarily overpower an opponent or to demoralize his physical capacities. Hence, a percentage of aggression, stress, anxiety is needed. The significance difference in mean of stress, aggression, and anxiety in the player is probably because of the coaching and training in they get in their universities. Thank you very much. This is enough from my side.